everyone, and welcome to Open Agenda, respectful dialogue with the facts. We appreciate your being here today, and I thought I would jump on and talk a little bit about our government shutdown in a specific way that it has affected the state of Colorado. So, after 43 days of a Democratic holdout, our representatives in Washington, D.C. did vote to end the government shutdown. And the shutdown has ended, but the economic damage, I think, has been done. And I think the recovery will take time. But today I want to talk about how the farmers and ranchers have been affected by this shutdown. The implications may reach far into the future, and it's not going to be pleasant for any of us. The farmers do rely on loans to keep their operations going. The way it works for most farmers is they receive payments after the harvest for this year's crops to pay off last year's loans. They are also planning for next year's seedlings and crops a year ahead of time, and the cycle continues. But this shutdown triggered nearly 42,000 employees being furloughed at the USDA, and that's about half of its workforce. And this affected many farmers and many farmer-facing agencies within the USDA, such as the Farm Service Agency. The USDA shutdown stalled loan processes and marketing loans critical to the farmers' cash flow during the harvest season, and this has created quite a significant financial strain. And the disruption could negatively affect farmers' ability to prepare for the 2026 crop season. And this will potentially impact next year's crop harvest in Colorado and other states as well. So these delays in accessing farmer loans, crop insurance, disaster aid, and other USDA programs meant that farmers were less able to purchase seed, fertilizer, and the other necessary inputs for planting, and managing crops. And this could really lead to a reduced productivity or delay in planting. And as we go along here, you'll understand what I'm saying about that. So there are currently about 3 million acres of farmland in Colorado. There are about 35,000 farms and about 195 to 200,000 agricultural workers. So there's a lot of people and farms that are being affected by this. And the ag communities in Colorado, they grow crops such as wheat, barley, corn, potatoes, sugar beets, peaches, chilies, melons, apples. And I think you see where I'm going with this. If the funding for purchasing the seeds for next year's planting are delayed, that can have an effect far beyond the government getting back to work. And another consideration is getting back to Proposition LL that was just passed by the Colorado voters to fund the Healthy School Meals for All program. You have to understand that a good portion of that food will come directly from the Colorado farmers. And the program relies significantly on local agricultural products to provide those nutritious meals to students. But recent funding cuts and program cancellations have disrupted this connection. So the federal local food purchase assistance program that helps schools buy directly from the local farmers was cut. And that resulted in a loss of millions in revenue for Colorado farmers and ranchers. And it's also created challenges for schools trying to maintain or increase local food offerings and meals, which impacts both the quality of food served and the economic stability of the local farms. The loss of this support means fewer schools can purchase local produce, which affects the entire farm-to-school supply chain. and local agricultural economy in Colorado. During the shutdown, the primary USDA program paused nationally and in Colorado, and that was the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or the SNAP program, that they have talked a lot about. That's also known as food stamps. So for nearly 2 weeks, regular SNAP payments were halted, and that affected about 600,000 Coloradoans who rely on this federal food aid. And I think it's time we think a little deeper, though, than the SNAP benefits. I haven't heard many people talking about this supply chain issue that we're facing with our farmers and ranchers and the farming industry in general. So if the food isn't there, then what good are the SNAP benefits? Just saying. Although the legislature is back at work, this opening of the government is only good through January 30th. So right now, the people in charge of making the laws in our government have about 30 days to agree on how to spend money before January 30th. Yes, about 30 days because of the holidays. It's a pretty short time. So last time they couldn't agree, the government shut down for 43 days, which caused a lot of problems. And now they have 30 days to agree. So there's a good chance, I believe, that they won't agree again and the government could shut down again. And let's hope that they can get their act together and make agreements so this won't happen again. And the reason that they're still having these big disagreements about which programs to fund and which to cut, if they don't make a deal before January 30th, the shutdown will happen again, which means many government services will stop again until they figure it out. So the chance of another shutdown is pretty high unless they find a way to agree quickly. Do you think they can come to a compromise in 28 to 31 days? I just don't hold much confidence in them. Given the past difficulties and ongoing disagreements on spending, it's uncertain they will reach an agreement in time, raising the risks of another shutdown that would, again, disrupt programs critical to farmers, schools, low-income families, and our supply chain in general. But in short, I think the 2025 shutdown deeply affected Colorado farmers and ranchers. It threatened the school lunch programs relying on local food, and the potential for a similar shutdown early next year remains high unless Congress can quickly find a compromise. Maybe they should go without funding and salaries as well as the American population. Where do you stand on this issue? Or have you even considered it? Let me know in the comments below or visit our website at openagenda.wtf for more conversation. And we all know that the WTF stands for With the Facts. Lynn will be back soon with us. She's currently doing research about the Affordable Care Act and rising healthcare costs. What she has is going to be cutting edge. So share our channel and don't forget to enable that little notification button so you know when we have our next podcast. Subscribe now and join the conversation because if you're not paying attention, someone else is writing the rules. Thanks for joining us.
Always on the